What's going on, gang? It's your boy 4G Tone. Everything that we do is for God, and this is Athletic Money. So what we're going to do now, we're going to watch Rick Ross, the boss. I'm the biggest boss that you've seen thus far. Man, what a legend. We're going to watch his interview with Earn Your Leisure and talk about assets over liabilities. And we're really going to dive into a couple of the concepts that they talk about. And let's have a discourse. Let's have a chat. If you in the chat, go ahead and say something. Peep game, whatever game you peep, ideas that you have. We're going to go ahead and get on it with Rick Ross, all right, in his house, and his investments, and all that other stuff, all right, and his horses. All right, let's go.
You're actually involved in educating the process.
Yeah, without a doubt. I got to show you. Every day I'm hustling from the day we came in the game, and we still are. And there's so much more to do, and I won't be satisfied until I've done something that's never been seen.
Look at, this is his home. This is where he lives. Like, you walk this in a day, it'll take you a day to walk this joint. That's how big it is. I don't know that for sure, but it seems like it.
Check.
Good, my guy. How you?
Welcome to the promise.
What's going on, boss?
By the way, Rick Ross is not small, bro. Because I know Rashard is 6'4", and you see his head. You see their heads. They not short. That boy Rick, he's not only a big dude, he's also tall. He's just a massive human being.
Everything
To the
good?
promise, man. Everything good.
Chat, what do you think he'll play? You think he'll play O-line, D-line? O-line or D-line? Me, this D-line for sure. D-line for sure. No doubt about it. No doubt about it.
Yeah.
Everything wonderful.
Thank you for the hospitality.
It's too easy. What's up, brothers?
Good, brother. How you?
We blessed, baby. We blessed.
That's it.
We here, long as we here. As long as we here, you know what I'm saying? It's only right. Welcome to the promised land. Toast to all the hustlers, you know what I'm saying?
The last time we met, we was on stage together.
Yeah, we was on stage.
Miami.
Yeah, him.
Why is he standing? Yeah, and this is like, I guess he's embodying and really like his boss stature is true, because this is what bosses do. This is his home. This is his office as his chair, and he's standing on top of a chair like a boss. Like, I guess he's not capped at anything he does. He's staying true.
500.
Yeah. Magical moment.
Yeah.
So, you know,
It's a very magical moment.
it's gonna make some more history.
That's my boy. I told him to pull up today, but he couldn't make it.
He getting some money somewhere, you know what I'm saying?
Gotta be. Why wouldn't you come see Rick Ross in his palace? You got to be doing something else.
Good thing.
Just making money.
You know
As
that.
long as you staying busy, stay busy.
That's a fact.
Stay busy.
That's a
You
fact.
ain't got shit to do, make up something to do.
That's a bar.
That is a bar. I was reading it's called Outwitting the Devil. Napoleon Hill, he's a famous writer. He wrote Think and Grow Rich. He said, the worst thing that you could do, the one thing that the devil can come and take over your mind, is if you start to drift. If you have no sense of purpose, no sense of definiteness in what you want to do, and you'll be a drifter. And when you become a drifter, that's when the devil is at his most proud. Like, he will come and prowl your mind, your goals, everything, because you don't have any. You don't have a sense of direction. You don't have a sense of what to do. Even if you just stay busy, it gives you a lot more time to stay away from your own mind and allow your body to do the work, your body to move for you, right? And allow you to actually go towards a goal and try to achieve something, right? Just don't be there doing nothing. Try to do something. And when you're in that mode, at least you can try to find your sense of purpose for something in what you're doing. Because when you start drifting, that's where the devil lies, in drifters and people that don't have a sense of urgency about anything. So that's a big bar right there. It's a big bar from a big boss, Rick Ross.
I got here, I thought of the Palace of Versailles. You always hear about the Palace of Versailles growing up, and I'm like, this is like our Palace of Versailles. Like, it's like a destination.
Yeah, it's a moment.
Yeah, it's
Why
a
not?
true palace.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Why not?
Exactly.
Put a little spin on it, call it El Palacio.
It's crazy. Like you hear the stories. I watched the horses as I came in. I remember when you was in the trees looking.
Chat, those are the horses run away from Rick when they see him. Because, you know, for sure they don't want him to ride. They don't want them to ride. And I'm a big dude, too, so I can say that. You feel me? I'm a big dude, too. But look at these horses. They like majestic, bro. Look at them. I wonder how much each of them cost. I wonder how much they cost. Are they an asset or their liability, chat? What are they?
Looking down at the whole landscape, so it's like, it's incredible. And then the lake in the front, I'm like, I remember you telling us that. I'm like, wow, this is actually happening in real
I
life.
actually had the lake dug
Bro,
up.
look at this, bro. This is gorgeous. This is like the Get Out mansion. You ever seen that movie Get Out? This is like driving up to that mansion. Bro, this is crazy. Goals. Is this goals, chat, or this is too much to handle? Let me know.
Right.
Took out everything I ain't want so we could refill it up, you know what I'm saying? Put the fish in that we want so we could pull out exactly what my mama want to eat, you know what I'm saying?
Boss move. You take out water from the lake, put new water in, then put new fishes in just so that your mama can eat. Boss.
Oh, we ain't filming that?
Well, we are, but I just want you to take a seat. You're like standing
I'm about to say you
Yeah,
standing,
that's how
bro.
you get the best out of rose.
I thought that chair looked real comfortable, so.
Oh, it is. Those, it's zones though.
Yeah. Gotta create the vibe.
He got his
Yeah,
comfort
yeah,
zones,
zones,
yeah.
you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
he got a comfort zone,
Whenever
yeah.
you're ready, feel free to take a seat, and it's just going to be a natural conversation.
Well, let's do it. Let's sit down.
She's the boss.
Yeah. I see.
We just follow direction. That's it.
Boss meet the boss.
I see.
Somebody get Diddy on the line.
All right. First and foremost, the biggest boss, Rick Ross, Rose. Thank you for inviting us, for having us at the Promised Land. This is an extremely inspiring moment for us. Just pulling up, you know, coming from New York, we come from a very close environment. Like, you know what I mean? So you don't really get a chance to think. But this looked like Central Park. Like when I was driving, seen the horses, I seen the lake. I'm like, this is really dope for us to see, you know. So thank you for having us, man. It's very inspiring. Thank you.
Oh man, you guys earned it.
Yeah. Let's get the numbers right. We got 235 acres. We got.
No. That's when we bought it.
When we bought it, but
Yeah.
we extend. We're gonna get to the extension.
Yeah.
of it.
I don't even know how much that is. Like, I don't even know, like, compare it to like a place that we know that's 235 acres. I wouldn't even be able to tell you.
Yeah, we're gonna get the 87 in there.
Yeah.
We got 109 rooms. We got 12 bedrooms, 21 bathrooms, and a plethora of other things that's going on. The largest swimming pool. And
What? Did he say 29 bedrooms?
extension of it.
We done it.
Yeah, we're gonna get the 87 in there.
Yeah.
We got 109 rooms. We got
What?
12 bedrooms, 21 bathrooms, and a plethora of other things that's going on. The largest swimming pool in the United States.
Oh my
The biggest
gosh.
residential pool in the U.S. Drake and Kanye can invite if they ever met.
What's the rent? Y'all tell me what the rent is.
All of them.
How much?
But let's get
He
into
probably
it,
own it,
Jose.
but
So,
what's
our
the mortgage?
slogan, assets over liability, that's what we live by. So what is an asset? What is a liability to you? Like, how do you define an asset? How do you define a liability?
I'm gonna be honest.
Great question. I want you guys to post it in the comments. What do you think an asset is and what do you think a liability is? Great question.
You know, I think depending on the role you play and who you are, what's a liability for one brother could be an asset for another. You understand? Let's say me owning a private jet, 15 passenger. You know, let's say if it was $5.5 million. For one individual, that could be a liability. But the position I'm in, it could be an asset. And not just based on the money I get or my salary, but the individuals that surround me that I know would also lease this jet when I'm not using it. You know what I mean? So it's money we could get. We could take care of the maintenance, the pilot, the steward, everybody based on letting, you know, another dude or two make a move once or twice a month.
So I get what he's saying. He's saying based off his position in his life, right? Like obviously his net worth or how much he has, his network, the people that he knows, he can make things that may look like liabilities look like assets because he can now leverage what he has to use and to sell to others, right? We understand that assets are things that make you money. Liabilities are things that kind of take away from your money. So if you buy, you know, a home, it's an asset. It depends. Is it an income generating asset? Meaning if you buy a home, are you now renting out that home to someone else in order for somebody to pay you because you own something? Does that make sense? So that can be an asset in that way, but it can also be a liability. If you owe a lot of money on the house, you got to pay rent, or I'm sorry, you got to pay mortgage. Then you got to pay for the utilities, the bills. There's so many things that's subtracting from your income because you're trying to pay for the home. So a home is technically an asset, but it depends how you use it. It's depending how you can frame it, how you can leverage it based on what you have, your net worth, your network, and what you can do in order for it to make you money instead of just sucking money out of your income. So it's a good point. Based on what he has and his leverages, he can make things that are liabilities to some, assets to himself. It's pretty dope.
Yeah, that's very fitting because the way you acquired the property, it was somebody's liability, right? It was foreclosed. JP
Most
Morgan
definitely
owned it, and then you came in and purchased it. But a lot of people don't understand the liabilities that come with having an estate of this magnitude. So what are some things and some costs that people may not be aware of that it does to maintain this?
Just simply the air condition. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
About that.
Your light bill, homie, your AC bill here. You can't fake that.
That's not gonna
You
be
know how the
happening.
youngsters say cap, the cap.
Yeah, I mean,
Youngsters.
You can't cap that. This shit is real.
so where we from, like the AC bill might be $500, but we're talking about something like this. So what would, I know there was some reports that it takes $1 million just to maintain this on a yearly basis. What are some of like those costs look like?
Man, you know, I'm gonna be totally honest. Rose don't even get to see the cost. The way my team's set up, and that's really between my mother and my sister. The way that get handled.
All right, yeah, I want you guys to let me know what you think about that. All right, I'll give you my opinion. All right, that's risky, and I think that he may know the costs, but it's not something that he looks at every month. But that's where you want to make sure that if your mom and your sister do handle it, that they handle it as well as they can. And obviously, it's not like they need to have a background in handling things like that. You know, my mom actually looks at my bills and expenses throughout the months as well. And she tells me, and she reminds me, okay, you need to pay this month. You know, you need to pay this much on this. And so she is a great, you know, resource for me in order for me to understand I'm staying on top of things. But if it's risky, like if, you know, that's where things kind of get a little bit entangled. You know, I don't know if they, you know, doing something with the money, if they need an extra little bit more for them. But, you know, Rick Ross it's really dope because he's in a position to provide for his family. If they're able to do that for him, he's able to go ahead and give them what they need for income wise. So it makes sense. And shout out to his mom and his sister, but it's risky. You got to really make sure you trust those people, especially with a bill like that, because if it's not paid on time, the lights go off, the air conditioning's off. But he's able to amass a certain amount of wealth to take care of it and not have to worry about the little finer details and delegate it to somebody he trusts. So it's really up to you. Do you trust people like that to do what they need to do? They're your family. You probably have an idea of what they can do, what their capabilities are. If you feel like they can do it, why not? So I understand.
You know, when we begin the year, it's simple as, you know, my sister may let me know, yo, your residency or what you doing with this individual covers the expenses for living for the entire year. Everything else right there is that's cushion. I call that confetti. That's like being in Club Live at 3 a.m. Poof. It's just falling.
Y'all know what? Hey, what is live? What is that? Y'all know what that is? If you know what it is, comment it down below. But I don't really know. What is Club Live? I don't know what that is.
And I love to look up and let the dollars hit me in the face.
Bro. I guess that was the opportunity to do it. You got to do it as soon as you can. But his chain is a spinner, bro. What opportunities do you have to show that it spins? I guess that's it. When you're talking about money just falling on your face and you get to go ahead and say you want to spin your chain. He's stupid. But look at this, though. Look at the engineering of this.
You know what I'm saying? So, but it's easy. You know what I'm saying? When I first moved in,
it goes right back into place, bro. Bro, that's wild. How much in the comments? How much do you think his chains are? There might be too many comments, but I don't care. I need more comments. I need more push. There might be no comments, but W for the chain going right back into place. Shout out to the engineering. Shout out to them. Shout out to whoever made this diamond piece.
This spot and we first got it up and running. That's before I fully moved in,
Didn't look back at the chain, by the way. Look at the ball status. Don't even look back like, hey, you see what it did? You know it's going to go back into place and just carry on the conversation. Okay, I see you, Rick.
I saw, light bill 17K, 18K, that ain't nothing.
Yeah, I think one of the liabilities too, and I think you kind of flipped it to being an asset, was that you saw that there was some debt in the landscaping, right? There was some, I think, $500,000 in debt for landscaping, and according to you, you were like, hey, I can cut the cost. I can mow the lawn myself, which led you to get into John Deere and saying, all right, we're gonna cut costs, we'll do it, and also allowed you to provide jobs. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Most definitely. That's basically how I look at everything around here. When you see my homies, the ones that's driving me, these are dudes that's from my hood. These are dudes that's from my community. And like I tell my dogs that surround me, you not just...
Shout out Rick getting him out the hood. $500,000 for landscaping as a debt, though, is crazy.
Gonna get rich being next to me doing one thing. You gotta be ready to do 5, 7, 10 things. So whatever you did in the hood, that's cool. You was respected for that, but over here, we gotta do this, we gotta do that, we gotta do this. So when I get out there on that John Deere tractor, we all out there. We cutting grass, we doing everything that needs to be done. And for me, it's better to remain hands-on. I wanna remain hands-on, because you're really paying yourself. Remain hands-on, you get to see things from a whole different perspective.
That's a good point, but you gotta understand what your time and how your time is valuable, right? You paying yourself, but would it be worth it more to pay somebody else so you can use your time to make more money? That's something that you have to weigh. Rick probably has a lot of time in the world because his money, his dollars, his revenue spend, his royalties on his music, his businesses. He's probably just making money as we speak right now, just not doing anything, sleeping. But if it is worth your time to go ahead and pay attention to something else to make you more money rather than cutting your own grass, that makes sense. But it makes sense. He wanted to cut the cost, so he then did it himself, got his boys out the hood, and allowed them to work like a landscaping company. But who knows? Now you can probably have your boys do a landscaping company and do really dope type of landscaping work for other high, real estates where he's at. I don't know if anything's near his ass, but he could probably develop that and make a real estate company. He owns that. So that's another way that you can have your boys kind of build up this business and make an asset for you in that way too. It doesn't have to be his own yard. He can then, promote it for somebody else's, you know what I'm saying? Rick Ross, Big Boss Landscape. So that's, it's a cool thing to kind of see what he's doing, a cool different perspective. But just to understand this, is it worth your time? Is it something that you would rather do anyway, even if you're not making money doing something else? Or do you just enjoy cutting your grass? Those are things you think about. Now, his income is incredible. Like, he's making a lot of money, so he has options. He can do whatever he wants. You can do whatever you want, but sometimes you got to pay the bills. What's more worth your time? Are you a content creator? Can you have someone edit your videos? You know, are you someone else that, you know, those are the things that you can really focus on and do.
You know what I mean? Walking into your chicken restaurants and actually sweeping, learning how to cook the chicken. I could whip up a mean 10 piece.
You know what this reminds me of? Nipsey Hussle, when, rest in peace to Nip. He was saying that in his early stages of his career, he did everything from engineer to produce. So he was like, during that process, when the engineer told him something wasn't possible, he said, it is possible because I did it. So if you can't do it, get out the seat and I'll do it for you. And he was like, that really helped him in his journey because there was no part of the process that he didn't actually do himself. So nobody could pull a fast one on him, or nobody can tell him this can't be done, because he knew that it could be done because he actually did it.
Bar, okay? This is one of the main points I want to get to in the video as well, is that especially for financial education, you got to have a baseline and understanding what your money does and how it works and how to be financially responsible and how to be fiscally educated. Because if you do not and you allow other people to handle your money, that's when they can pull a fast one on you. That's when, if you have too much trust in giving somebody else responsibility for your dollar, for your hard-earned cash, your hard-earned money, it can get risky because you don't know their motives totally, unless you have total trust like Rick Ross has in his family. And you know, we've all heard stories like that. We've heard of high NFL class guys, first-round picks, people who make millions of dollars. Even John Elway, who was the owner of the Denver Broncos, someone was fiddling with his money, fiddling with his dollars. Not to say that he wasn't financially educated. Obviously, he must have had some background in it in order to own a team. But if you give too much away, give too much responsibility to others, especially if you do not know too much of that financial background or background in anything that you're doing, it's risky. It's a risk that you're taking on by letting somebody else have that responsibility, because you don't know what they can do. You know, there's agents out there that used to have NFL agents making millions of dollars, or NFL players that had millions of dollars. And there was a woman one time that was saying that I'll go ahead and handle your investments for free. And she ended up running off with all their bread. So stuff like that happens all the time. And for you, in order to really hedge that risk, in order for you not to be in that risk mode, at least have a baseline for what's going on in your financial career and your education. Because then you can understand and weed out the ones who's trying to take advantage of you. That's what it is. People are just trying to take advantage of you if you come into that situation. Same thing too, if you're trying to start a business. My dad did the same thing. He was at a place to where he knew what he wanted to do, so he took his own understanding of how to do something and really just put it into work himself. He wanted to know how to weld, how to bend, how to put things together, really engineer and manufacture something himself before he started delegating it to somebody else. And what that allowed him to do is to know that anything is possible, right? He can do it himself. Then if he wants to delegate it, if he wants to allow people to, do other things, he can teach and then allow them to learn and grow. The one thing that we're at now is that we know how to do everything, but we continue to do everything, right? We got to get to a level to where, since we know how to do everything, we got to be able to put it and present it to people so they can do it, so that we can continue to grow and then leverage ourselves, right? So that's the same thing with having a skill and knowing that somebody else has a skill that can take it to a new level, right? You have the baseline, you know what you want them to do, so you can tell them, you can communicate to them and know that it's possible, but you know someone that has a skill set that can take it to a higher level, that can make it better, because you can't do everything yourself. You could try, but it takes a village, it takes a team. If you try to do it all by yourself, you can only go so far, right? That's what Bill Gates, Steve Jobs, Elon Musk, that's what they did. They understood that they can do things. They had a baseline level of what they know how to do in their industry, but they knew how to recruit and build teams, and then now build industries, build companies to then grow and then be a visionary for them, for it to grow to as big as they are now. So it's incredible what they're able to do by knowing the baseline, understanding the fundamentals, and then getting the right people along to take it to the next level. Okay, again, this is your boy 4G Tone. Everything that we do is for God, for good, and for grace. This is your boy, or this is Athletic Money, Appreciate y'all tuning in, and we'll see you on the next video. I'll see y'all.